And Michinoku Pro is the exact inspiration for Chikara. So here are the people who inspired me at every stage of my career. To be able to provide a stage and a platform to celebrate them and elevate them made me feel like this is what I am meant to be doing. Whatever it is that I'm able to create or exert or express through Chikara, this is perhaps most important. And there was that same year, the Michinoku guys were there. Manami Toyota was there. I had reached out, and this sounds easier than it is. So I'm going to step back and I'll give you a little backstory on this story. I had wanted to reach out to Sean Waltman because in the 1990s, the 1-2-3 Kid really gave permission for lightweight wrestlers to find success in the United States. Prior to the 1-2-3 Kid, unless you were basically Dynamite Kid or Tiger Mask, the idea that an American promoter had a spot on a show for someone that looked like that, not so much. But the 1-2-3 Kid changes all of that in May of 1993. And I owe a debt of gratitude to him. My old running mate, Reckless Youth, does, and so do hundreds, if not thousands, of guys wrestling to this day owe a debt to Sean Waltman for that. And so I started to put feelers out through my network because, sometimes when people tell stories, for example, I love to watch music documentaries, and somebody will be like, so we called up Michael Jackson. What? No, you didn't. No one has his phone number. You don't just call up Sean Waltman. That's not how it works. So here's what you do. You reach out to someone and you're like, do you think you know how I could get in touch with Sean Waltman? And they're like, I know a guy who knows a guy who could get you there. So it takes weeks of this. You're playing this game, right? Like I'm getting one closer. I'm getting one closer. Finally, I've got his phone number and I get him on the phone. And I know he doesn't know who I am. We'd maybe met 2 or 3 times in 2 or 3 of the 10,000 wrestling cards he's appeared on, right? He does not remember me. But I said to him, very sincerely, you've had a profound impact on my career as a professional wrestler. And I have a very special event that we put on just once a year called King of Trios. For us, it is our WrestleMania. And if there's any chance that you'd be willing to do this, I would love the opportunity to present the 1-2-3 Kid there. And I know you've been X-Pac and Six, and you've wrestled just under, his own name, Sean Waltman, now for years and years. And maybe revisiting that character is not something that you're open to. But to me, and to so many others, you are the reason we are able to do this, to enjoy this art form, why it plays the fulfilling role in our life that it does. And if for the sake of one weekend, you'd be willing to reprise that character, we'd be really proud to have you with us. And he said, I'll do it. So sure enough, the weekend comes and Sean Waltman shows up and he's got brand new 1-2-3 Kid gear.
Brilliant.
But at the time, he had this very scraggly beard, like a really long, almost like a mountain man like beard. And I thought, oh, geez, I had not considered this because with the scraggly beard, that's X-Pac, that's Six, and it's not the 1-2-3 Kid. But I think he fully understood this. So this was taking place at the ECW arena in a locker room where, for whatever reason, they were doing some kind of construction at the time. There was a sink and a mirror that was just in the middle of a room with nothing else. So everyone is sat in there with their suitcases, right? The bags are open. People are putting on their boots, putting on their deodorant, getting ready to go out to the ring. And at this mirror, he just turns on the water, lathers up his beard with a little shaving cream, and begins to shave it off in front of everybody. And when he was done, he took a towel to his face and turned around, and he was the 1-2-3 Kid again.
There you go.
And that weekend, he goes out there and just crushes it. He's electrifying. It's as if he jumped into a time machine and became 15 years younger. And in particular, the match that he has is a singles match with El Generico on that weekend's finale of King of Trios. Behind the curtain, all of us, every member of the Chikara family and all of our guests were there watching it happen. And we're overcome with emotion as he re-embodies the 1-2-3 Kid. When the match is over, he stumbles back through the curtain and he's sobbing. And seeing that, we all start sobbing. Why? I don't know. I don't know what that human thing is. You see somebody else crying and you start crying. We just all started sobbing. And I'll show you this in a second. We had this massive group hug. It was, in many ways, it might be the fondest recollection I have of so many fond recollections of Chikara. And I said, hey, man, like, do you want to sit down or something? He's like, I need to be by myself for a minute to process everything that's just happened to me. So I gave him a couple minutes, and he'd isolated himself in a room where he could lock the door. And I wanted to wait a good amount of time, let people cool down, especially when you get the adrenaline going and the blood's pumping, right? That's not the time to like sit down with somebody, like, let's have a chat. So I waited a few minutes for this all to kind of calm down. By the time I went over, he had left. He'd packed his bag and had left the building entirely. But he'd pinned something to the door, which I actually have right here.
Oh, wow.
Because I keep it on my desk to this day. It says, I will never forget this weekend as long as I live. You all are the future of wrestling. It's been my honor to be here. I love you all from the bottom of my heart. Sean Waltman, the 1-2-3 Kid.
That's incredible. Look at that, ladies and gents. That is absolutely incredible.
This sits right next to me on my desk to this day. The significance of this hasn't dulled for even one moment to me.
Yeah,